Now, kamikaze. Kamikaze is... Alright, good. Alright, kamikaze. Oh, shit. It would suck if I wasn't recording that. Kamikaze is the holy wind, you know, and it's like, yeah, that's what it is, you know, like the emperor willed it, you know, that's kind of what they're suggesting, you know. The emperor is such a badass, you know, he will fucking will it, you know, he is the son of God. But, you know, which is like just how, you know, fucking tribal the Japanese were at that point, you know. You know, like, you know, oh, we have the dominant culture. It's like, you guys are still tribal. You guys like Greek tribal, you know, like level of society, and this is 1200s, you know. While the the Europeans were like, no, dude, we got science, all right, we understand what's going on, but you know, and that's why they fucking got on Copernicus. You know, Copernicus is like, hey, check out what the science stuff tells me, man. You know, hey, you can fucking, you know, we revolve around this. And it's like, no, buddy, no, you know, like all the kings and lords, like, no, buddy, we don't like this shit. Okay, look, we rule based on the Bible. Right? The Bible grants, you know, we're the chosen by God. You got to realize that. So don't fuck with us. Okay, you know, God says like this. You know, it's in the Bible that says like this. That's why the translations always, you know, skewed to like, oh well, it honors basically the local lord. You know, basically. Um, but you know, so what about Japan? What about Japan? Well, Shintoism. Shintoism is like more like, you know, just perfection of society, and that's where martial arts come in. You know, so kamikaze, martial arts, and shit like that. Kamikaze, holy wind. You know, it's like, oh, the emperor willed it. Martial arts. Well, the Japanese or the Chinese had these martial arts. You know, these guys who do martial arts, and it was kind of like, you know. And they realized, well, because, you know, we kind of need these guys that, you know how to fight, you know, and that's why they're allowed, but or like just kind of integrated into society. They had schools, and I think that's something that, you know, basically that, you know, these schools, these tongs, which is kind of part of it, they're allowed in society because, you know, you at times you're going to need to recruit soldiers to fight these outsiders, you know, and or you're going to need these, you know, people to train my soldiers, because that's the other thing is that these martial artists would be used to train, you know, the armies. Because every once in a while the Chinese would have to fight, you know, and they would like, you know, we need an army, so they, you know, get these guys to just training, you know. But then the Chinese realize, hey, there's this nice little exercise that's pretty cool, Tai Chi. Let's encourage Tai Chi. Tai Chi, you know, is just very even flowing, and it's an exercise, and it keeps the people healthy, and that's why it's encouraged, you know. And also medicine, you know, like the medicine is like, you know, if the emperor, the guy in charge says, you know, I want healthy people, because healthy people produce more. You know, that's what he wants. That's what, you know, the leaders realize. That's why their society, you know, was just this nice, more regimented, you know, way. And it's just like, because it was kind of like part of the religion. The religion was like, you know, Shintoism and Buddhism, you know, and Buddhism for Chinese, but Shinto for the Japanese, because, you know, it's the same, but it's different, you know, and because that's what's allowed by the emperor, you know, because that's the thing too. Whoever's in charge says what the religion is, as well. And, you know, and they do that because that's what, and they make their religious reference. God chose me to be king. I am the son of God as the emperor. You know, that's what it is. That's what, you know, that's what they say. You know, and I can, oh, I only have power that exists here, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. You know, you know, don't fuck with me with the day-to-day shit. I'm in charge. Give me women, give me food. You know, you know, this is my home. I don't need to leave. You know, that's all I want. You know, and they realize that. So, you know, good for them. Mm.